It's my pleasure to welcome all of you participants in the National Multilingual Seminar on Problems and Opportunities in Agriculture in and after COVID-19. The problem of agriculture and problem of farmers is a basic problem in this country. A economic and biological affair called as agriculture is impacting more than 70% of the people in this big, highly populated country, India. All farmers are not equal and therefore their problems are not same. And there is no effort regarding this to classify these farmers and to have the problems of them separately to deal with in the policy or in implementation, and that is the problem. It is corona is a problem or an accident happened, and this helps us to think in this regard. The farming or agriculture is not a business issue. It's not business. It's a culture, providing the basic needs of the people. And this culture is to provide food, fodder, fuel, fertilizer and medicine in a sustainable manner. The farmers, particularly taking the cash crops, they have their own problems. Farmers in the dryland farming or rain-fed area, they have their own problems. Again, the problems of big farmers is different than problems of the marginal farmers. The marginal farmers having 1 acre or 2 acre of the land, they suffered more during the COVID. The farmers growing vegetables, they suffered more because the government can lock down the nation with one statement in 1 minute. But you cannot stop the nature because the crop is a function of the time. And if it is growing, you cannot say the crop that stop now and you again grow after the corona or after the lockdown. Therefore, very severe problems. And it is not a problem of farmers only. The farmers are supported by the laborers, the artisans providing the tools and equipments, and all those families related to them. And therefore, the problem of agriculture in corona and after should be dealt with a deeper concern by the policymakers, the experts, the scientists, bureaucrats and politicians. So, if we go for the problems of the farmers, the large number of vegetable growers have to run their tractors on the crops, and all the investment they made by taking the loans, it went into mess. Second thing, it is very devastating. It creates a psychological depression in the minds of the farmers. This psychological loss is more big. Again, if farming is not there, activities are not there, the goods are not sold in the market, how the farmer can pay the wages of the laborers? And if laborers are not surviving, then what about their families? And government policy is not concerned with all these problems of the farmers, laborers and their families. No survival is there for them. Providing just a ration, just a wheat or jawar is not sufficient. They need oil, they need soap, they have to have the fees for the children. They have many other needs also. Who will provide them? So, just by lockdown, the packing the farmers and laborers in a ghetto is inhuman. And this inhumanness has not been underlined by any media or any politician. That is the problem. Again, when coming out of this problem, what is the plan? I think there is no plan. Because if the farmers have lost their crop and their loans are unpaid, they will not get further loans. Number two, even if they get the loans, further loans, their farm is not able to produce more to pay both of the loans. If the calamity is a natural one and every farmer has a right to life according to the 21st article of Indian Constitution. So, this 21 says everyone has a right to life, right to prestigious life, right to life of the equitable quality from where it will come. So, is it not the duty of the government to provide with new seeds, fertilizers and incentives to pay them for their work in farms? Or otherwise, the whole situation will lead to the suicides of the farmers. And suicide of a farmer is not by interest, not by wish. It is not willful. The big industrialists can be willful defaulters, but the farmer's life is at the stake. That is the problem. What can be done again? It is possible that separate the farmers as a marginal farmers. Their problems are more severe. The farmers in the rain-fed area, their problems are more severe. And they are producing the crops for the nation. They are producing the food for the nation. They are producing fodder for the milk industry. They are producing the fuel for the local people. And this loss is bigger one, and that will reflect in the economy of the nation. The national economy is not depending upon industries. The national economy from the industries, national gain from the industries, profits from the industries, it is not supporting all the people, because 60% of the population is supported by the agriculture. It's not the problem of profit. It's not the problem of GDP. It's not problem of money. It is the problem of human survival and human livelihood. And I think it is more important that first the citizens should survive. And for the survival, they should be paid incentives to come out of this particular problem. Even more than 80% of the lost produce from the farm is unprocessed, therefore we lose them. And losing the grains, losing the oil seeds is a national wastage, national loss. And now it is the need of the time that decentralized small industries for the agro processing are necessary. But there is one hypothesis that companies should come, companies will invest. Yes, it is possible. That company farming is possible, but where the farmer will become a mere laborer, and this mere laborer cannot be good citizen. And again, this laborer will depending upon the wages given by the industries which are not complete. Another thing is that the investment, if it is coming from the industries, the profit will not go to the farmers. The centralized production and centralized marketing system leads to the problems and crises in the post-modern period. And this design is not working worldwide, that we see everywhere. And therefore, Indian farmers are different, their problems are different, and their solution will be different, obviously. And these different solutions, there should be a think tank which will empathetically think about the problems of the agriculture and not the problems of the production, problems of the livelihood, problems of the education, problems of the health, and it should be treated, integrated in an integrated way, and this can be done only by the intellectuals, because it is the work of the teacher. The duty of the teacher is not only to teach in the colleges. It is the duty of the teacher to teach the people who have not got the education and knowledge about their livelihood. And therefore, the teacher should come forward, students and youth should come forward to solve these problems with their own solutions. The solution will be not for the profit, but will be for the supporting the livelihoods of the lakhs of the farmers, leading to a strong nation, leading to a strong citizen farmer, leading to a strong farm laborer, leading to a strong artisan. So, it is not a very simple task. We appeal through this conference that we may come with a new storm of thinking, deliberations, discussions, and we may come with the solutions which are fit for the Indian soil, which are fit for the Indian problems in an Indian way. We may require to think of the Gandhism. We may require to think of Jagdish Chandra Bose. We may require to think of many more philosophers working with the sustainable development philosophy. Can the intellectuals and farmers come together and lead to the solution? The solution will be permanent one. The marketing of the farm products is again another problem. Now, there were market committees which have been abolished by the government, and now they say that the farmer can sell the things directly to the vendor. Is there so simple? It has been seen by the government's machinery that the farm products may be cereals, may be pulses, may be onion, may be cotton. The procurement by the government starts so late that before that the farmer has to sell his product to the vendors, to the commercial people, and they take it, they store them and then sell to the government only. And here there is exploitation. So, exploitation of the farmer is everywhere. Unless and until farmer gets the control over the technology of the processing, this vicious circle cannot be broken up. In these days, the health facilities are too costly for a farmer. In the nation where there is a right to life is there, how the health practices or health services are to be paid by the citizens, those who are not affording, the corporate big hospitals, the private hospitals, they are exploiting the people like anything. The small schemes like Mahatma Phule scheme or other schemes are not sufficient. And why there should be discrimination of the citizens on the economic power, on the economic conditions? If all citizens are equal, all the citizens of India should get free health services. This movement should also come forward and get the things. Again, we have seen during the corona, the climate is cleaned. The dust, dirt, toxins, gases coming from the industries have nearly stopped. But after lockdown they will come. Then who cleans the environment? It is only the farmer who produces the oxygen and consumes the carbon dioxide. So, if industrial oxygen is sellable, why the oxygen produced by the farmers should be free? The farmers should get the oxygen bonus or carbon credit for that. Those who are growing anything, they produce oxygen. And if nation provides them the oxygen bonus, that will give you the buffer capacity, economic capacity to face the problems like corona, problems like floods and famines and so on. So, now after corona, there should be a demand. The farmer should be paid the oxygen bonus, because unless and until there is a sustainable policy for the survival of the farmers and continued livelihood, the problem of the nations cannot be solved. So, I think in COVID-19, there are large number of problems we are aware of. One can n-number them, that is not difficult. But n-numbering the problems, counting the problems is not the solution. Arriving at the solution requires large amount of thinking, understanding. It requires empathy, it's not sympathy that we convey with the dog. If he some pelts the stone on the dog, we have sympathy about him. But it is not sympathy. Being an equal citizen, I must have empathy with the farmers and their families, laborers and their families, because they are building the nation. If farmers are not there, there will be no nation. And therefore, I appeal all of you to think on that. The agriculture should be everyone's business of thinking, and everyone has a duty to help the farmers in any capacity that you have. And this conference will lead to that direction, which is deciding and showing particular direction of the solution, sustainable solution for the farmers. Thank you very much.